Welcome. This is the kind of day that we hope you'll be glad you're here. We have guests. We have hot flash news. We have words of the day. We have stories from last night. But to kick us off, from my husband who's on propofol. Well, he's really not on propofol right now. I have something for us. Guess who said this? This is a very old quote, and I'm thankful for Chris sharing it with me. How appropriate is this, Allison Sinclair and JP, for what we're going through? They tell us, sir, that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and when a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope? Until our enemies shall have bound us hand and foot. Sir, we are not weak if we make a proper use of those means which the God of nature hath placed in our power.
That's good.
Who said that?
I mean, I think you said before the show who said it.
Then you can't say, because I can't remember. I know she said it, but somebody, Patrick Henry. Is that true?
It's true.
It's real.
He was one of the most unsung fathers of the American Revolution.
Unbelievable. When Chris said that, he said it to me this morning. I was like, oh, just appropriate, just for our consideration as we're doing what we're doing, because the word of the day, I'm just going to tell you, goes right along with that and right along with what we hope will happen.
I'll close my eyes because I really want to cheat and look. Am I going to know this word?
The word of the day is rectify.
Wait, no, you're supposed to give us.
No, I'm not. Well, listen. It's a verb meaning to correct an error or make things right.
Do we still have time to rectify?
Do we?
Our wrongs? Is that how you would use that in a sentence?
Or are we going to lie supinely on our back?
Actually, right now, a nap sounds good.
I am so tired. I've had so much coffee, venti. Chris has already had an upper GI. You had a much more fun night than I did last night.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk about my
How are
night.
you, kids?
But do we have a Gen Z word of the day?
We do.
No cap.
All right.
High key.
That's good.
Rizzed.
Okay, you almost said it. We'll read the definition first. Refers to someone's cool, fashionable, or on-trend style, especially their clothes or accessory. Blank is used to compliment an outfit.
You have drip.
Drip.
Oh, I love that word.
That's kind of old. Yeah. But I get it. Do you still use drip?
Yeah, if one of my friends walks in and has a good outfit, I still say it that boy is dripping. Look, somebody get a towel. He's dripping as he's walking in.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Dripping. Drip.
What's the opposite of drip?
It
would apply to your shirt today.
It's drip. You got drip, man. You're dripping.
Well, you commented on my drip the first thing you walked in.
I didn't see the crimson tide
until you saw the logo.
And then she was like,
I was like, that is
so if it didn't have a logo, would I be dripping today?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're dripping.
So So now
it's a bammer.
Well, also it's got the letter A, and anything that has a letter A, I like for our names. You could pretend
y'all both got the A.
that
it's
it's
save it.
I don't
trying
know.
to save
See,
it.
your logo has an A and a U. Ours just has an A.
So it could be our monogram. Yeah, our single monogram.
Right, fine, you're dripping.
Thanks.
That A.
So Sinclair, your night was more fun than my night.
I had to send out a text to them this morning and just say, hey, I'm a little bit off because we had a wild night last night.
She acted like her Spotify age last night.
25, 23,
21.
21. All right.
She just
Which
turned
is
21.
funny
Do
because we hung out with a bunch of 21-year-olds.
That's why you.
That was the problem.
That's it.
Spotify got the best of me. So we went, Jared and I, we live in the North Shelby County in the country, unincorporated. So sometimes we have to go across the Cahaba to down to the towns. And last night we went down to the towns and went to a small function. And then we met up with some friends to have dinner and play bingo.
Oh my gosh, you're so old.
Like what kind of bingo? Like the old fashioned spin in the cage bingo?
Y'all, it's the first time I've ever played bingo, and it was so much fun. I didn't
bingo.
see a cage. That would have been cool. There was a DJ, they were playing music, and he had a cute little microphone, and we played like fancy bingo. By the end, we had to black out the whole card. And then the next round we played perimeter bingo, where you just had to fill in the perimeter. What's funny is the guy had to walk around with a sample bingo card to make sure everybody knew what a perimeter was. So, but we had so much fun. And so it was 3 couples and we had dinner. And then one of the couple's son and his friends who were all home from college that are Jennings age met up with us. And I have a question. So we were playing bingo. They didn't play bingo because that's for old people.
Yes.
But then we went out and sat outside with them. And I walk out and these 21-year-old boys are drinking Chardonnay.
What?
Is that the new thing?
That's so
Like they all have
fancy.
wine glasses and Chardonnay.
Did they go to Alabama?
Yeah, like half of them go to Bama. Some of them go to school in Texas.
Oh, that's why.
I don't think there were any Auburn fans there. But anyway, that was the first thing that threw me off. But we had so much fun. And what made me laugh is these boys, I was sitting there because, you've got the 21-year-old JPs of the world. And then you have like my husband, 2 other grown men. And I sat there and laughed and I was like, there's not that much of a difference here. It's like, okay, yeah, you look a little older, you got the dad bod, and maybe you have a better job, but like the conversations are kind of all the same.
Oh, yes.
It was actually really, really cute. But we had a blast, y'all. We didn't leave until like 9:45. I don't think I got to bed till around 11.
That's way past your bedtime.
It was so late, but we had so much fun. Y'all, we're going to need to play bingo.
I love bingo. I bet you passed Chris on his way into St. Vincent's, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. I love bingo so much. I am so excited. But when you see your husband with other dudes, that tickles me when he's with his friends.
It's funny.
Because they are straight back at college. And you're exactly right. Those conversations don't change. They crack each other up. And I just enjoy watching them be themselves. Like I don't know. I don't know. I thought girls were like, our friendships were tight and really special, and they are. But dude friendship is also incredible to behold. So
it was fun.
The few times I've talked with Jared, it's like talking to one of the bros. And then he got my phone out of the pool, so he's a homie for that too. So
yeah, he's cool.
But you know
He's a
what
cool
Jared
guy.
did? Just Jared is the life of the party. But this is what he did to bring us all together last night. I think this is why it was so fun and funny. So everybody, we ordered dinner and we're sitting out there by the fire and we're just hanging out. And all of a sudden, Jared goes, "Hey, let's go around the circle and everybody tell one thing that nobody knows about you."
Yeah. See,
was this after you've had some drinks?
Yo, I had a glass of wine, and at that point, it had like half of a French 75. But yeah, so we're sitting there, and then the boys pick up on it, and they start like spilling the beans.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
We need to play that game one day.
let's play. Yes, let's play bingo and that game. Let's do it at your house or mine. We can do a fire pit.
today.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We could.
I was going through my Rolodex.
I'm
What
trying to
does
figure it out.
Everybody not know.
I've got a lot in the vault that will not come out public on the show.
Well, like I said, your night was more fun.
It was fun. I hope they're watching. They all said they were going to watch the show. They were very interested. And it was funny because they started asking me about different topics. Like, do y'all talk about this? Do y'all talk about that? And it really was exactly what we were, what is a passion of ours
Driving nuts.
with Caitlin Bussey, with you, and just trying to connect with the youngins.
Yeah. It's kind of wild that we are really connected basically with our kids' age friends, because that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to have these same conversations with them because they're thinking a lot along the same lines that we do.
But their perspective is different because their
Mhm.
world is so different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what makes it interesting. So I hope they're watching. JP, if some texts come through, because they all wanted to call in. I was like, we don't always have our phone line on, but you should watch for some texts or comments.
on the
What did
lookout.
we say about the phone line yesterday?
I can't remember. What did we say?
We're like, we don't keep it on. Should we even keep it at all? And here people want to call in.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. So, all right, guys.
Sorry.
This is from Chris Shaver with love. Chew your food. Okay. So
What got stuck?
well, last night when you were having fun, we were packing for our trip and he gets the first call of the night. He's a gastroenterologist, my friends, and that means all the things you think it means. A, that he has a great sense of humor, and B, some of the things he has to do are not elegant or glorious, but you know what? They've paid for my life, so thank you. So C, he gets a call. Somebody had been, came in from a different hospital. He had to retrieve at 11 o'clock at night steak out of somebody's esophagus.
Oh.
Then he gets home and we're like, oh, that's great. He got the call before midnight. Always good. Oh, no. Then we got another call. Somebody was not doing well in the ER. And then we got a call after that. Had to leave. Probably about 1:30. He had to go get chicken out of somebody else's gut. And so his word of the we slept for an hour. And then we were up
my
for his
gosh.
procedure this morning, which meant something glorious. A venti Pikes from Starbucks.
Oh, she went.
So we're going to
venti.
be okay. We went venti, but his
AKA
word
large.
to the wise was, please chew your food and just go straight to the ER. Some people did in the stories from last night, but just come to the big ERs where they'll treat you really well and quickly. But he had to do that last night.
Was
Okay.
he successful?
Oh, yes.
Of course, because
He's on a mission.
He's a
He
don.
had to go in and boop, and then boop.
What are they? Are there like pliers on a
Basically.
wire?
Basically.
And
I'm
like
serious.
you pull it and you clamp it?
Yeah.
Okay, but can you breathe?
Yeah,
like the
because
steak is just stuck on one side or something?
well, you can barely breathe. You know how, have you ever gotten like a peppermint stuck in your throat because you were in science
making
class in
me
high school
panic.
Yeah,
and you're
that's
not allowed to
nightmare
have
fuel.
candy and you panic because Mrs. Flowers is walking in the room and it's
Sounds
stuck in your
personal.
gullet and you're like swallowing and you think, oh Lord, I'm going to choke. Well, that's what it feels like.
I'm gonna die.
Stuck in your gullet.
And sometimes people wait days because they keep thinking hope against hope. This is going to pass.
well, where does it get stuck on?
It gets stuck in your throat because
I
you
know. but
didn't chew well and
lodged.
it didn't slip. So it gets lodged in there.
Y'all know your brain has a like memory, like, and you don't even know it, of how many times to chew to before you swallow it. Like your brain kind of memorized the number.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Mine forgets sometimes if I'm really hungry.
mine does
Or you've had a couple
too.
French 75s.
French 75s are delicious. But that happened and it does get lodged and then they have to go in and lasso it out or pull it out and it gets out. But he sent us a picture last night and I choose not to show you.
I want to
gosh.
see it.
All right.
I'll say it in the break.
Is this
All
the
right.
steak
This is let's see. I'll look at the Shrek cast and I'll tell you.
or is this the chicken?
Here we go. This is that size came out of somebody. No wonder it's stuck. It's disgusting. Don't look.
That God love him.
I know.
I can imagine
That
Chris
looked
coming
like
in
it was that big.
It's huge. It's like a rock.
How do you not chew that?
I think you were really hungry and you were washing it down with some sweet tea.
Maybe it wasn't like good steak.
And
it
then
was solid.
the
Chewed and
poor
chewed and
blessed
chewed and chewed.
person was sent away from the first place they went to, and they're like, "You're fine." Chris is like, "You were not fine. Just go to the big town ERs. They will take care of you." I'm really sorry for these people that they had to go through this, but that was our night last night. 1 hour of sleep, and then up for his own endoscopy. Upper. That's fun.
What a day.
Wow. Please, Calgon, take me away.
You should have come to bingo.
I would have loved to go to bingo. I think our lives would have been better.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you.
What?
One person in our group won $425 playing bingo.
Holy smokes.
Should we have that be our first meetup is a bingo?
I don't know, but I guess you can make millions in bingo.
Let's play bingo.
Just
Because I want to
saying.
use the ball where they like turn it round and round and then they C7. C7.
That's me. That's me.
Okay, Gladys.
No,
One more.
Linda, that's an L. It's not a G. Oh, I'm sorry.
See, we're ready. We're
L,
ready to
not
play
a G.
bingo.
So those are frequently confused.
my cataracts.
If you're Gladys and who else? Linda.
Linda.
You don't
Mhm.
know.
Oh, Ophelia.
Ophelia. Jovi.
We had so much fun.
I'm so glad. I mean, when you say you have fun, you mean it.
Yeah, we did have fun.
I do wish that the people you were with might text us in.
Oh, wait, we actually got a Texas guys listening comment.
Sweet. What's with the Chardonnay? Like, what is there no Jack and Coke? Did that go away?
Well,
No.
I only know that because that's what
the Chardonnay, I don't
Man
know.
drink.
I think
I
I kind
got
of
one
was
friend who does.
excited. It's like they're growing up. They're
That's
fair.
sophisticated.
I
That's
got one friend who's like
Not
like
Long Island iced teas days are gone.
Yeah.
Like we're becoming men.
this guy's still a
Zynga,
Jack and Coke though.
what was it?
Zima
Zima.
with a Jolly Rancher in it. Oh, let's bring it back.
I'm sorry, JP.
Boone's Farm.
Yeah.
Boone's Farm.
Brad from Crampston, by the way, said, "Of course you should chew your food. It would be really awkward if you chewed someone else's."
Brad.
That made me feel.
That's funny. That's good.
Well, Texas guy, hi, we're talking about you. But at least I gave him a heads up. I said, y'all need to tune in because I am absolutely going to tell Abs and JP about this.
Oh, you have
and
to.
the rest of the world.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So
State.
I love it.
I bet the rest of them are still asleep. The Bammers are still sleeping.
Yeah. So maybe in the
Probably.
11 o'clock hour, they'll text in, give their thoughts. Because we talk about all the things. And especially if you text us and say, hey, I got a question about this, or I have thoughts, and then we'll discuss. That's how it works.
Hmm.
Yeah. But this is fun. Like the 20s frame, 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
They're like fun to hang out with.
So fun.
You learn a lot
Mhm.
because they talk a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Well, what else are we doing today, Abs?
Well, we're going to do Yammer.
You want
in
to
a
do some
second.
Yammer?
Let's do some Yammer.
Wait, we can't do Yammer yet.
Wow.
Oh, is it time for
It's
Yammer?
time. Yeah, it's
Our
time for
clock's
Yammer.
off. Okay.
And
we
then
gotta fix
after
7 o'clock.
Yammer, we have Pam Casey coming up at 10:30. And then after Pamela, we also have a guest in the 11 o'clock hour for a hit there. We also have Hot Flash News at 11:30, and whatever else trouble we get into. In it, all of that, we also have the montage. So like today's show, jam-packed.
This is one of the shows.
Don't go anywhere.
It's going to run itself, and I think today is probably the best day to have it. It's going to run itself. Show.
Praise the Lord.
We do have to get to what happened last night on the redistricting
Yeah, because I've got questions.
because I think this could be funny.
Okay, well, I'm going to
Like
make a
last
sound.
night funny.
I'm gonna make a sound effect eventually for Yammers, so I guess we'll just start. It'll probably be something like Yammer,
I like that.
and then maybe put in like a little.
No, hold on. You
We-
should play the
Bird
one
whistle.
other one that I sent you this morning that made you laugh.
Oh, I don't have it pulled up.
We
I have to
do.
have it ready.
You need to put a Yellowhammer bird tweet
Yeah,
in the end of it.
like Yammer.
Yes, that's great.
That's pretty good.
I love it. Okay. So Yammer, which is our tour around Alabama news as we kick off a day that we'll talk about Alabama and then we'll talk about national. We talk about it all. All right, Sinclair, what you got from Alabama?
Well, so Yellowhammer News put out an article yesterday. Some high school juniors who have never taken a college snap are asking for $1.5 million in NIL money.
Mm.
And according to a new report, that's just the going rate for top 2027 quarterbacks. I don't really have much more to say, but this is out of hand.
Yeah.
High school juniors expecting $1.5 million. Can we please go back to the Chick-fil-A bag of $5,000 cash?
McDonald's.
Oh, sorry.
That was the Jeremy Pruitt Tennessee special.
Okay. Well, let's, go Vols. But maybe it's Canes. Maybe that's the new one.
$1.5 million. Y'all can't reform NIL fast enough.
The game is slowly dying and we're watching it and we can't give any care. We can't pull a Chris Shaver and take the steak so you can breathe again out of the windpipe.
That was good. Let's have a moment for that.
All right,
that was
Everybody
great.
has a good visual.
I'll just say this quickly of that right there is why the collectives need to go away, because if you just have shared revenue with the universities, it won't be that, where collectives make it pay for play and make the market like that. So that's how it manifests itself.
For one sports topic to a coach, U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville.
What has he done?
Do you like that? Do you see the transition?
I like that.
Announced the Assimilation Act in a fiery Senate floor speech Tuesday, introducing legislation that would overhaul the nation's immigration system to prioritize merit, self-sufficiency, and commitment to American values. It's a privilege, not a right, to live in the U.S., Tuberville said. The bill would end chain migration, eliminate the diversity visa lottery, establish a national interest standard for admissions, crack down on visa overstays, and require that citizenship reflects what Tuberville called commitment, character, and real civic integration. JP, could I have a round of applause for that, please?
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who will say that is just so wrong.
They will say that is so wrong. And yet, what a pathetic state we live in. Not our state. Our state is awesome. I mean, collectively, state of the society that we live in, that we actually have to have a bill that says assimilate or go home, essentially. So bravo, coach.
What's it called? The Assimilation Act?
I think it's called, everyone, Assimilation Act.
The Assimilate or Go Home Act.
I like it.
Well, on the same thread, actually, and this bill has an amazing name. This is also from Yammer News. Yeah, if you wrote this one. Barry Moore has a bill that would require immigrants to disavow Sharia law. And the name of this act is called the Crusade Act. Countering radicalism under Sharia and defeating extremism act, aka the Crusade Act. This legislation would amend the EB-4 special immigrant visa provision, including the religious worker category, to require covered aliens to disavow Sharia law and take an oath to uphold the United States Constitution.
The Crusades are back.
But when I saw the name, I was like,
wow,
that's good.
Based.
It's good.
That's
gutsy, actually.
I know. I would say I think Barry in the House and Tuberville in the Senate have been two of the, especially from our state, but in general, two of the ones that are spearheading this issue the most. So get a bravo.
I think it's fantastic. I like the steps that they're taking. We need more of that, please, to conserve, to protect, and to defend these United States of America.
It's a really good discussion, actually. Did y'all hear Neil Gorsuch was talking about that we're a creedal nation? I think that would make a good plunge, like longer form topic of kind of digging into what that means. Do we agree? It made me go, I gotta think about that one. But it's a really good discussion. I love both those acts. I'm not sure they'll get anywhere, but bravo. Put it out there, make the statement. It's kind of what we're asking from Montgomery, but Montgomery doesn't really seem to want to move on that one. Y'all, we're going to take a break and be back with Pamela Casey, right?
That's correct.
She's always entertaining. We'll be right back.
Shaver with Allison Sinclair, and we are joined by a dear friend of ours. Her name is Heather Davis, and not only has she become a counselor, not only has she written a Bible study, but she's one of the wisest women I know, and she can tell you about herself. We have so many questions for her. We're not going to get to all of them, but the main point today is, how do we deal with a generation of kids that no matter what we do, we seem to be doing it wrong? How do we have hard conversations? How do we broach uncomfortable subjects and not lose our mind doing it? How do we do that? So, welcome.
Hi, thank y'all for having me.
We're so glad you're here.
I'm a little overwhelmed by the honor and the love, so thank you.
Wow, I'm overwhelmed by the fun. Like, I've heard about Heather for years, and she walked in, and I was like, "Oh, she's one of us.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome."
Yes.
I think y'all are in for a treat because I'm pretty sure it will all be said, like not holding back. So, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So, first, real quick, what's your background, and did you ever see yourself doing what you're doing today?
No and yes. My background is I graduated from the University of Alabama at Birmingham in '93. Thought that I was going to be the next physical therapist, but apparently statistics are very important in that role. And so I never got an opportunity. Had worked at ASMI with Lee Mack, Andrews, and Rogers, the gods of orthopedics, and realized that the gods of orthopedics bow down to the God of the universe because he had a plan. He brought me here under the guise of my personal wants and wish list, and he saved me, transformed me, and called me into ministry before I was 25 years old. So it was what I like to call a butt kicking in reality and practical theology. So 25 to almost 40-ish, I was on different church staffs here in Birmingham, always around connection, community, small groups. It had this just innate, from the time I was a little girl, ability to hear through the lens of the gospel and love people. And so was counseling before I was ever really into that. Had a horrific marriage, started doing a lot of therapy just to kind of get through what life throws at you. Addictions that, back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, we didn't say the word porn out loud. We didn't say affairs out loud. We didn't say sexual addiction out loud. These type of things were what I was dealing with. And on church staff, that's pretty taboo. So I had been on a staff where they were like, you need to step back and get your house in order. And that really kind of undid me. And the long and short of it is I did a deconstruction of my theology to find out, well, if it's my husband who's sinning and he's the head of the home, how do I get my house in order? And so it really just kind of took the legalism that I had been brought up with. My parents are very good people, very moral. And then I, became Baptist in Birmingham, Alabama. And so I just traded one for the other. And so he really just started to show me what a practical theology was and how do you live out what you honestly believe. So long and short of it, I ended up doing master's program and getting counseling certifications. And now I'm a gospel coach. So my last accreditation is board certified master mental health coach. And I specialize in life recovery, addictions, and neuroscience. I work through the lens of NARM, which is a neuroaffectual relationship model, which basically means the biological, neurological way that our bodies and brains process. And so it's really kind of cool because that just flows right into theology. Forever, God's been telling us if we renew our mind, we can be transformed. And that's exactly what I get to do with people. So I love it. I know that's pretty heady, but
No, I'm so curious because a lot of people will say psychology, psychiatry is antithetical to the gospel, to theology, to God. But it sounds like you fuse the two. Like God
Yes.
created us, God gave us these mental capacities. He wired us. How do you put science and God together? Because most people want to separate them.
Right. So for me, as a Baptist, even, it was very difficult for me to understand the difference between spirit, soul, and my flesh. Okay. And so it took me a long time to get the understanding that, my flesh is the part that has its own proclivities. It has its own predisposition towards typical types of sin. That's my flesh. That's the part of me that makes me human. Then there's the spirit, which is, I was made in the image of God. I'm an image bearer. We're all image bearers, and it's unique in each one of us. That's why we're all so valuable to the kingdom. And then there's this soul. This is the part was so elusive for me. It was just kind of like a mirage. Like, how do I grasp it?
JP, since this song is a riff on breaking the law, I do know that our next guest is not somebody with whom you'd want to break the law, but we'll talk to her in just a minute.
It's so funny you say that because I don't realize it when it's playing, but then when you've said that like 3 times, I'm like, yeah, that is.
No, that's Beavis and Butthead. Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
It's so completely random what music does to your brain. So anyway, we're not going to break the law with our next guest, Pamela Casey, who is running for Attorney General of Alabama. Hello, how are you today?
She's got the hair going.
Good
You look so
morning.
fancy.
Hey, I had to come over to the Huddle House to get internet to talk to y'all today.
Okay, I take it back. She's at the Huddle House. Where
I
are you?
am in Winfield. I have a meet and greet in a little bit, and where it was, I had zero internet, and I was like, oh no, I've got to go find somewhere. So I'm sitting outside the Huddle House in Winfield. The things you do on a statewide campaign.
Bless.
That's awesome. She is dedicated
She is dedicated
to us and this cause.
So how is the campaign going? What's your
Well,
latest update?
So I tell people I kind of go back in between being campaignery, so a mix between hungry. I'm campaignery, and anyone who's had a child had pregnancy brain, and I think I have campaign brain. So, hey, look, it's been 16 months, 17 months I've been on the road. We feel really good. We are rallying and peaking at the right time, and we're in this to fight for families and children, and we just feel like God's in control, and we are ready for Tuesday. And we're excited, man. We are not going to stop. I didn't stop when I ran for DA. I didn't stop until 7:02 the night of the election, because you always run like you're 2 votes behind.
So what do you do on election day? What does this look like? Because you're not just dealing with a district in a county or a county. You're dealing with the entire state. Like, do you have to make it from top to bottom? Are you staying home? Like, what does this look like as a candidate?
So I will rally Blount County. We want Blount County to show up pretty big. When I ran for DA, I literally would get out and ride around to like the gas stations and the restaurants and be like, hey, have y'all voted? Don't forget to go vote. Because if you go back and look in that governor's race back with Byrne and Bentley and Tim James, I think Bentley got into that runoff by like 180 votes. And so, you can rally 180 votes the last day. And so what I do though is about 4:30, I will go eat dinner at the little restaurant I started waiting tables in back in high school. I have the same table I sit at. And so I have the same thing I do, and we'll do that with our family. Then we'll go vote and get ready to get the results. So it's funny. They've been like, well, where's your watch party? I'm like, my house. It's at my house. That's where I'm watching it.
So before I ask you this question, what do you eat at that table that you go to every time?
I get a steak, which is rare that it's a barbecue restaurant. That's the nicest thing on the menu. And I get me a steak and a baked potato and a salad because I feel like I deserve it by making it through that whole process. So
that sounds delicious. Okay. So speaking of the process, what are you hearing from voters? What are their main concerns that they want you to tackle?
Well, first of all, they're kind of tired of all the negative stuff going on right now. When I'm out on the road, they're just over that. But in terms of the AG's office, they want somebody who's actually been there and done that. They want, you can talk about criminal justice policies and you can talk about taken people to court, and until you've actually done that and know how to do that, it's really hard to lead an office. It's until your name is on the door and you're responsible for it. It's always easy to kind of grab onto what other people have done, but I bring that experience, and they want somebody who's real. They want someone they feel like they can talk to, and they want someone who, is in it for the right reason. I don't want to be a governor or lieutenant governor. I want to serve as attorney general, work with our law enforcement, work with our DAs, work with our agencies and commissions across the state for the betterment of Alabama.
I'm curious about the SPLC and kind of that whole thing that is going to continue into the next administration in the Attorney General's office. What are your thoughts on that? What would you be doing if you were there?
Well, it's kind of surprised me that it's taken that long for the AG's office to get involved in this. It's interesting that it wasn't until after the Fed stepped in that they did anything. Now, I will say this, it's a lot easier to be an armchair quarterback when you don't maybe know what's going on in there. They may have been doing stuff, it wasn't public,
Right.
but that the SPLC has been an issue since I was at the AG's office. And so it's kind of surprised me that it's taken that long to see a movement in that direction. So we would definitely move forward and work with the feds and uncovering any type of illegal activity that was taking place.
So, I'm not sure if you've seen the news in the last couple of days. You have been busy. But something else that the AG's office has been outspoken about is this whole redistricting going on and a 6-1 versus 7-0 map. What are your thoughts on what should happen?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the fact that you've got these federal court judges who have no idea what goes on in our communities and how, it blew my mind. And I heard it a lot during the course of traveling across the state, people in the Wiregrass saying we have nothing in common with Mobile and parts of Baldwin County. And not that they have nothing in common. I don't want it to sound like they don't like that area, but it's hard to get represented because they have different priorities. And so it's clear that the people that our current districts were not aligned according to the people, and race should never play a role in how we create our districts. And so I think the Alabama State Legislature will make that decision based off of what they hear from their people on the ground, whether that be a 7-0 or a 6-1. I think it's time that, and we've seen the Supreme Court finally say that the states should be the ones that play the role. We know what's going on at home. We know how the people are, and race should not play a role in that. And so we look forward to, when I'm the Attorney General, working with the legislature, ensuring that any new map that's created in this next legislative session would be one that could be upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Did you see, because the 3-judge panel in the 11th Circuit Court that came out with their kind of rule, I don't know, opinion, whatever y'all fancy people call it, last night, basically saying they might not even accept the 2023 6-1 map because it would be, my understanding is maybe that it was drawn under now unconstitutional terms. How do you interpret what they ruled last night?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you even saw them send it to the district court and say the district court's now requiring them to say, can you pull this off timely? I'll be honest with you. You've got candidates that are getting ready to think that their primary is on Tuesday. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. And so I think that the AG's office has got to be prepared to answer those questions, be prepared for to use the decision out of Louisiana to make their arguments. I know that the Solicitor General there is a very smart man. He has worked on a lot of things, including the transgender issues in the Tennessee case. And so I think that it is in good hands with who our Solicitor General is in that office. And I think that he will make those arguments that are needed to get us to where we can have that special primary in August. But I do think there's still a few things that need to be answered and orders that are going to have to be issued in order for us to see this all come to fruition.
Can you explain real quickly what a Solicitor General is? Most people don't understand or know what that is. And then who is it? Is it the same one that argued this case in the Supreme Court?
No, so now his last name starts with a B. I think it's Barrett. I'm not exactly sure, and I can see his face. His mom is a federal court judge. Of course, you would ask me the name. It slipped my head.
Sorry, I'm looking it up right now because I should know it too.
It starts with Baldry. Ben, is it? I think it's last name's Baldry. Bennett Baldry. Am I right? Sorry,
Chat GPT is about to tell me.
So the Solicitor General is in charge of the appellate aspect in the AG's office in federal court. I've had the honor to, when Corey Mays, who's now a federal judge, argued some of our death penalty cases at the U.S. Supreme Court, I have had the honor to go with him. Actually, I have a quill from the U.S. Supreme Court, got to sit there. It's really interesting. If y'all have never done that, go do it, more than anything, to be able to report on it. And so they're leading the appellate process in the Attorney General's office of what's going through the federal courts. And then if there's an argument for the U.S. Supreme Court, they would go and do that argument. Am I right? Baldry? Is it Ben?
Barrett Baldry.
Barrett Baldry. See, I was getting Barrett.
Bowdre. You actually knew it, but you just have campaign brain and you're questioning yourself. You should trust your instincts. So
right.
Yes, he was appointed by General Marshall, looks like in November of 2025.
Yeah, when the prior Solicitor General went to the federal court. And what's interesting is he was really instrumental in the transgender research that took place at the AG's office. He was the one that was behind doing that research on transgender. And so I think he's an excellent person for that position. You know, he kind of grew up in that federal court life. His mom's a federal court judge. He understands how important the arguments are that you're making in front of the court. And look, I'm the only candidate that I'm aware of that stood in front of the Court of Criminal Appeals, the Alabama Supreme Court, who's authored briefs to the 11th personally. And so I think the AG needs to be able to sit down with your solicitor, have those discussions about where our arguments are going, and ensuring that the best person is representing the state going forward in that position.
So that's a perfect pivot because you're describing some of the aspects of your job as AG. We've talked about it before, but I would love to remind our friends in the audience exactly what it is that the Attorney General does.
Okay, so Alabama, it's your top law enforcement official, but it's not also just criminal aspect. It's also representing the state in civil matters and any type of challenge to the federal courts. But over half of that staff there handles our criminal court appeals. We just saw, I don't know if y'all saw that Murdoch's case got reversed, South Carolina. Have y'all seen that since you've been on air?
Wait, what?
What?
Yes, the Murdoch, yes, it's been reversed. And so what people don't get is
the murderer, the dad who murdered his son and wife?
Yes. It was reversed on misconduct related to the clerk there. And so I think it's important when you look at that case and you realize that the Attorney General's office handles every appeal in the state of Alabama. And their staff does the execution of the our death penalty cases. And here's something that people don't get. And I think this is so important. The Attorney General has the authority to step in and start an investigation anywhere in the state into anyone, corruption, SPLC, any of those things. You need an Attorney General that understands how a grand jury works. Like, has your Attorney General walked into a grand jury? Have they taken testimony in a grand jury? Have they issued subpoenas? Do they understand the really what that means? And so the AG's office, you represent commission agencies and provide advice, the local opinions division for our municipalities. And so I think I bring that real world experience that no other candidate in this race has to that office.
We've got about 2 minutes. Any last thoughts, anything you would like to tell voters before next Tuesday, which is crazy to say, and then where people can find out more about your campaign?
Yeah, I'm going to ask the voters that when you go to the ballot go to the polling place next week and you get a ballot, you are wanting a working, hardworking, dedicated, experienced Attorney General, and I'm the one that brings that to this race. I promise you that if you don't like what I've done in 4 years, send me home. I'm not in this for a paycheck. I'm actually eligible to retire. And so I'm doing it because I care and because I believe that we deserve a experienced Attorney General who will fight for us and is not connected to any outside dark money or special interests. I'm here. My interest is the people. You can find information about us on our Facebook at Pamela Casey for Alabama Attorney General or our website at pamelacasey.com. Look, I look forward to being Alabama's next Attorney General. My door will always be open. My number will be available. And you kind of laugh, but people actually call me and I think they're kind of guessing, is she going to answer? Is it really her? But I look forward to serving, and not only you go vote, take your family, your friends, and get our young folks out to vote. We have a small number of young folks that are voting, and that's really sad.
Thank you for joining us. Your Huddle House Wi-Fi held up perfectly. Enjoy the last few days if that's possible. It's just, I think Tuesday is going to be a great day for the state of Alabama. It's going to be an interesting day because there's so much turnover. I don't know if people are realizing like almost every constitutional office is up for reelection, and incumbents are no longer, they're term limited out. So it's going to be kind of a fun thing to watch. So we will be keeping up. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks,
and
have a great day.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. I mean, they have to be wiped out.
I
by
don't
this
know
point.
how they do it.
I don't either. I don't either. I just, not at all. But we'll see. Tuesday's going to be a great day, like you said, and very interesting. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that was just my Tuesday.
Oh, sorry. I should know that by
What's
now.
up, brother?
So
I never understood this.
That's
part.
the audible. That's like when we walk
Oh,
up to the that he's saying
Tuesday.
that's him saying an audible, like when Peyton Manning would go Omaha. That's him like walking up to the line going Tuesday.
So two things. One, did you
She's
find
not
anything about that case?
enamored.
We did, or I did.
Okay. Did
We're-
you follow the Murdoch case? Because when you live in a state, then you decide for the rest of your life you're going to follow things that happen there. Also, one of our precious daughters lives there, so obviously. But this was kind of a hideous case.
Yeah.
And it got reversed. I'm not surprised. This guy is such a scoundrel. Of course, it's going to be overturned or overruled or whatever they do. I don't know the terms. I mean, that's his whole business is this. So, of course, they're doing something wrong to get him out. You knew he was never going to stay in jail. That
Well-
man was never going to stay in jail.
So first, we're gonna game plan on air because I should have done this in the break. But let's take this segment to 11:05 since Terry's coming in at 11:10
Sure.
studio,
Okay.
and we can do montage after talking about this.
Love it.
But yeah, Murdoch, his literally Fox News, 59 minutes ago, his double murder conviction unanimously overturned by South Carolina Supreme Court. Which, by the way, I'm not the one. Like, I really don't get hooked on like these sort of like trials, or I normally don't really care. This was one I was. This is like typical Southern rich, person. It was straight out of a movie, and the fact that this is getting overturned because they didn't cross their I's or dot their I's, cross their T's. It says a post-trial court found that Hill, quote, made improper comments to the jurors on the day Murdoch testified, saying, quote, this is an important day, or, quote, this is an epic day, and that they should watch Murdoch's body language on the day he testified in his own defense. One juror recalled that Hill, who I guess is the prosecutor in this, said that he told the jurors not to be fooled by the evidence Murdoch's defense presented, according to the document, saying, quote, they're going to say things that will try to confuse you. Don't let them confuse you or convince you or throw you off. The document says Hill tried to, quote, insert herself into the jury's deliberations through these comments and was in line with her stated desire for a guilty verdict to sell more copies of the book she planned to write.
Okay. But he still shot his wife and his son. And then his other son, like, killed somebody. And then their maid, like, accidentally fell down steps and died. And then they took her money. I mean, this is unbelievable.
So,
I do a lot of driving. I listen to true crime while I drive.
Mary Rebecca or Becky Hill served as the court clerk, and she actually pleaded guilty to 4 counts of where'd it go? An ad brought it up. 4 counts: obstruction of justice and perjury for showing a reporter photographs that were sealed court exhibits and then lying about it, plus 2 counts of misconduct in office for taking bonuses and promoting a book she wrote on the trial through her public office. Ooh, this is bad.
That's bad. That's real bad.
So, can you be retrialed?
No, that's double. You can't be tried for the
You can't
same.
be tried for the same thing. Can you try it for a different thing?
I mean, if you want to,
Like, can we use
can't be-
semantics here?
he can't be tried for the murder of his son.
Okay. Well, you know what they do when they want to catch the people? They go and look at their tax records. So that's how they got all the mafia people. Can we just go look at his taxes?
I don't know. I mean, I guess, but you won't get a conviction for like this, like for murder.
But you can still send him to prison.
You can, yeah, but it won't be, yeah.
But what's the difference?
I mean, getting like life in prison versus
Yeah, well, you
a
just
decade or two, maybe for
he'll probably
tax,
die.
maybe. I don't know. That's insane to me.
This is not going to end well for him. I know he thinks, tra la 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 la, I'm out. But his whole life has been being a scoundrel.
So did she do this on her own volition, or was she paid off to do this by the Murdochs? And is she willing to take the fall?
Now this is the
Now
fun
you're talking.
conversation. I did that's what made this case so
Now
fun.
you talking.
Because it was like the powerful, rich South Carolina good old boy. And it's like, okay, was this person that incompetent? I mean, how stupid do you have to be like, this is an epic day. Don't let them fool you. Like, it's almost like you think they're not that stupid. But then her promoting a book through her public office on the trial, like, you go, how are you that dumb? But it's like, maybe she got some money. Maybe she's good for her kids or good for the rest of the.
I mean, it's really sad because that's how he did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He would just pay people off along the way. So this is really obvious. But if you're a criminal and you get away with things like this, then of course you're that arrogant and you think, I'm not going to get in trouble for this. And look, he's out. She's got money. We can't trace it. It's probably some offshore account. That's pretty crappy that he's out of jail. Shot his son and his wife.
But would she be willing to go to jail for him? I guess if you're getting paid enough money.
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody has their price.
I don't know what the sentence would be for. I mean, she pleaded guilty to 4 counts of those. I don't know.
She probably got a lower sentence because she
Pleaded, yeah.
What?
That's your tinfoil hat. I know it scratches your head, but
What, Sinclair?
I mean, no, like that's a conspiracy that and he shouldn't have any of his money, but he probably does. It's probably buried under their boat dock.
why did he kill his wife, by the way? Anybody know? I never really heard why he did it.
I think he just didn't like anybody.
Mm.
I don't know. I remember watching the documentary, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah, didn't we watch it like
I feel
back
like
at our old?
In our old life?
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like we did. Yes, we did.
didn't we?
We were all a little obsessed.
Oh, that's right. Because didn't I? We were all listening to it around the time. I think you told me because I was moving Wesley to
I was gonna
South
say
Carolina,
you were driving and listening.
and you told me, and then I got obsessed with it and went from the one you told me about, and then I think we both also watched the Dateline one or whatever it was.
Yeah,
This is Southern entitlement at its finest.
It's like a John Grisham novel. Which I'm trying to get through The Widow.
It sped up the second half.
Yeah, I'm getting to the second. I'm trying to decide if I'm ditching it. No, I mean, Wally just got beat up.
Okay, well, you're getting to the good part.
Okay, good.
But the first half, some of his are bangers and some take halfway through. And every time I'm like you, I go, well, you know what? This is really boring.
Okay.
And then the next chapter, I'm like, oh, it all makes sense.
All right. Wally getting beat up was kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I'll stick with it.
So also, if you guys have, thrillers like Grisham you like, send them our way. Give us references.
So
there you
JP,
go.
do you want to do the montage? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I
Okay.
mean, I think if we're gonna get to the montage, it probably
do it.
So here, let me get this right.
Black for News.
We just saw the arrival. Let's put that up on the screen there. He was greeted by the vice president of China and 300 Chinese kids, Bill, waving the China and U.S. flags. The president has previewed what he's going to talk to Xi about first, and that is trade. He said that he's going to ask Xi to open up China to business with these business executives that he's bringing along with him in this big delegation.
Occasions when your security detail had difficulty waking or locating you, is that right?
Nope, it's a total farce. I don't even know where you get this stuff, but it doesn't make it credible because you say so.
I'm not saying it, Director Patel. It's been written and documented.
You are literally saying it.
No, I'm saying that these are reports, Director Patel.
No,
and
unlike
I
your
will
baseless
say,
reports,
Director
the only person
Patel-
that was slinging margaritas in El Salvador on the taxpayer dollar with a convicted gangbanging rapist was you.
The FDA Commissioner Marty McCary is resigning. That is according to the AP, who is citing an administrative official. McCary's 13 months at the agency saw disagreements with lawmakers, White House officials, drug makers, and HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy. At just in, the FDA Commissioner Marty McCary has resigned.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Denied access to the SCIF, and so to my knowledge, what's going to happen now is not only do we have the support of the chairman, but they're going to get a nice letter from Congress.
And I was told by leadership that it was blocked by the intelligence community, not the intelligence committee, but the intelligence community, and that is a very chilling effect. If someone can reach through the veil of government and pierce it to the point of we do not have access to something, you got to start asking yourself who the hell's in control.
Oh, look at there, Timmy.
Wait, what happened? What were they talking about?
So there was supposed to be a skiff yesterday regarding UFOs.
Oh, skiff.
And it got blocked allegedly by the intelligence community.
Are you surprised?
Okay, we're gonna ignore that. That was an accident. Keep going.
Are you surprised that it was
No.
blocked, Sinclair?
Well, do you remember actually Tim Burchett was on our show the last time he went into a skiff about UFOs, UAPs is what he calls them. And he had gone in and there was this whole big thing about going into a skiff, learning all the things. And when he came on the show, he was like, didn't really get much. It was almost like political theater and it was very disappointing. So I don't know what it means. Like at this point, why would you want the backlash if you are the intelligence community? Why would you want the backlash of not going to the skiff? Now it looks really sus. Hey, that's a good word.
Sus, yeah.
Sus.
I like sus.
But
One of us.
like go in and tell him grass is green, but at least take the skiff meeting because now we're all like, this is weird.
You would think that, but if the information is that important that they don't want it to get out and they're willing to have people think that. Later on in the clip, I think Burchett said, specifically, he said there's maybe members of the military industrial complex that are going to get put out of business with some of the technology that these UFOs have. He went on Joe Rogan and talked about big energy companies maybe getting put out of business because of the technology that these UFOs have. So I don't know, but if you're Burchett and Luna, you're not going to go to the reporters and say something bold like that unless it's true and it happened, So, I mean, they allegedly were told the intelligence community nipped the skiff in the butt. So, and that, I don't know. He also said that this first batch of releases from the files were just a drop in the bucket. And like, there's a lot more, like the real meaty, the real stuff that people would be willing to cancel skiffs over probably aren't even out yet. So I'd be interested to see if that stuff ever even comes out at all. But
Abs, what are your thoughts?
I agree.
We're not skiffing.
We're not skiffing. They don't want the information out. Is the information slow to come out? Because what if, and I saw this on the socials and the interwebs over the weekend, is the reason that this isn't coming out is that ultimately, if we were to see some of the images that are from the Bible, would it prove that the Bible is true? And they can't afford for this to come out at all? Because like we're talking about with Bubba on Monday, no matter what comes out, God is still on his throne and he is still the ruler of the universe. But what if man-centered that our government is cannot bear to have this come out? Because what we'll find out is the Bible is actually true because the things that they found are actually demonic. I don't know. But that's where my mind goes. What do you think? What? What?
I just this one I usually have a gut instinct and a read on things that are happening. Kind of I can put the pieces together and the people that are pulling or strings are being pulled on. This one I'm kind of stuck. And I don't really know what the end game is because I can see it going several different ways. Yes, maybe it would prove the Bible is true, which it is. But there are a lot of people that will still argue that. And everything that they are going to disclose to us, you need to hold it up to Scripture. And there will be an explanation for it. So let Scripture interpret what they come out with, regardless of what it is. Like frog-looking people or like hovercraft. I don't know. Hold it up to Scripture. But then I get really nervous about the nefarious intentions of this. And then I look at, Tim Burchett, I have known for
Since you were in college.
however many years, 1999, 98 is when I worked on his first campaign.
28 years.
Yeah. And it's funny. I see him. It just looks, he's the same person. I trust him. I believe him. He has good intentions. He is one of the good guys up there. He would not intentionally lead us astray. But then I go, are they just using him?
Yeah.
And
Kind of like
that
how
makes
he's
me a little
like
nervous.
he's the Doge subcommittee chair,
Yeah,
Like
like let's give Timmy his little project, and we're gonna throw him a bone and we're gonna use him, like, because he's giving so much credibility to this subject because people do trust him. He's just Tim Burchett in his Carhartt jacket, and that makes me nervous. And I feel like they're really not good intentions here at all.
Yeah.
And
Boy.
then the king with the digital ID.
I was about to say that.
Okay, well,
what?
you take.
No. I just seriously, King Charles, not only do we know you probably already, well, you said some funny things when you're at the White House. Okay.
Or his speechwriters.
His speechwriter said some funny things. He has a great sense of humor. I appreciate that very much. However, with the digital ID, are you trying to mimic China? You're just way behind. So not only did you get the Muslim migration wrong and your whole country has been lost, now you're going to lose it even further because you're advocating for digital ID. And so social credit system so that you can hold your people down even more. Not only are you holding them down by not prosecuting the wickedness by the Muslim rape gangs and all the nefarious things that are happening in that regard, not only have you elected all Muslim mayors across the country, now you're taking it one step further and making it even worse for digital ID, digital currency, so that you can follow people everywhere they do, everywhere they go. And if they get out of line and you don't like it and they don't treat somebody well, you can just say, you know what, you're not going to be able to get public transport today. You can't use whatever their little taxi cabs are called. I forget. You can't go on the tube. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe he continues to step through. Oh, wait. He does love this little thing called the World Economic Forum.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed.
But do aliens and digital ID with the king, which by the way, he looked ridiculous in his getup.
Looks so dumb.
Are those two things, do they go together?
Everything's related.
They could.
The aliens are coming. And so we need to track everybody so we can keep you safe.
Yeah, because even the Nazis were trying to invent a whole, the aliens are coming. So this has been around forever to maintain control. So this is just one more way of maintaining control, even if it looks different. Is that fair?
Yeah, JP's
freaking out.
What would you crashing out?
Can I interject with a quote? And we got about 45 seconds, so we'll end with this. This is a quote from Werner von Braun.
Ooh.
Obviously the Huntsvillian legend and the guy that took us to the moon. But he said this quote, and I saw it the other day. Quote, "The last card they hold is the alien card, the extraterrestrial card, and none of them are hostile. It's all a lie."
Can we just go to break?
We have about 10 seconds. Yeah.
Let's just sit in silence. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. This is like one of JP's dreams last night. JP, it's all a lie. None of them are hostile.
None.
All a lie. I'm gonna start laughing. Oh,
that was
we
good of us for a
will
second.
Be back. Yeah, it's hard to stay quiet.
It's so hard. It's not our spiritual gift.
With Terry LaPont. Or Carrie LaPont. Which one?
Whatever she says her name
We'll
is.
see what she says. She is running for Congress. And you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
And the best way I've figured out how to hold on to it is it's a 3-part. It's your mind, your will, and your emotions. And so your mind definitely includes your brain, but it's more than just your brain. You've got your subconscious and your conscious. So the things that I say are biblical truths. The things I believe about myself, that mental tape, that's the subconscious. That's your mind. That's the part that's got to be transformed. Then you've got your will, which is, your disciplines and the things that each of us have or do not have. I kind of lack will when it comes to bread, Diet Coke, French fries, ice cream. I mean, there's a list, but my will is very low on those. And then there's your emotions. Well, your emotional state is definitely important, but I was not taught that way. I was brought up in a military, medical, Italian family. Emotions were not things we talked about. You were sent from the table till you could get it in order and come back, dry your face up. So the emotions, that's part of it. Well, what we've got right now is a generation that's led by their emotions. Then you've got, our generation, Gen X, which is totally led by will.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will do what we're going to do because we know. And so those two generations are really clashing. And then you've got the generation that's the mind, and these are facts, and that would be your baby boomers. And so that's where these generations are really struggling, is the way we see soul is so different that we're having trouble determining how do we even communicate about it, and even more so, how do we love these kids and give them the safety and security that they need, because we're the adults and we've been there. And we know what it was like to be raised by people who didn't value emotion and they didn't value will. They only valued trust or truth and achievement. And so we're in that precipice where they all meet, and it's kind of like the rubber meets the road, and we're dealing with it because these kids are not believing what we believe.
Not at all. And is that why? That's just so interesting, that clash of civilization, really. But is that why you mentioned a minute ago, the kids today seem to be so led by their emotion? It doesn't matter what logic you present. It doesn't matter. I mean, even going so far, and you and I have talked about this, where some people will say, well, what is truth? As if it's this nuanced thing that we can create rather than a concrete, no, truth is. Right. We rotate around the truth.
My truth, and your truth.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about that? I mean, why?
We talk about the postmodern world, like that's where we're at postmodern. And so relativism is incredibly real. I just had a conversation with my oldest child, who's 26 and in law school. And she asked me specifically, are you okay with the unkind treatment to people who are not citizens of our country? And I was like, help me understand what unkind is. And she goes, Mama, you've got your therapy hat on. And I was like, well, I need to understand your terms, because that's where we're at. Her version of unkind is an experiential unkind. For me, clear is kind. Unclear is unkind. Kindness means I would extend something to you that you have not earned. It's a gift. Kindness is a gift. And she was like, well, I don't think kindness is that way. It's an attribute. And I was like, okay, that's where we're at. We have to define terms with this generation, because theirs is an experiential, emotional thing. Kindness is a character trait. You can't give what you don't have. And so for her, she really struggles, and she's typical. She's a millennial. She is very typical of, if you're not kind and you don't do it the right way, you're wrong. I'm like, where's the grace in that? But they don't have grace because they don't understand it.
Is this across the board? Like, I don't know if there's a little chat group of all the NARM therapists out there. But I'm
Yes.
curious if it's more pervasive in the South, just the Southern
no.
culture. No, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. NARM, the model that I use, is worldwide, and it's kind of ironic. But when we do our Zooms, when you do your trainings, you're on Zooms. There'll be people from all over the world, and they'll say, Heather, and then it'll say he, she, it, whatever your pronouns are, and we'll have people from, one was from China, one was from Scotland, my favorite accent. And she was saying, what is this she, her thing? She was like, and we had to explain, in America, you have to say your pronouns. And the woman was like, what? You are who you are. But in America, it's up for debate. But in other countries, that's not even an issue. They don't deal with it. And so we're kind of in that place where we're making up things.
Yes.
To be upset about, to be offended by, or to draw a line in the sand. This makes you on this side and me on this side, when we've missed the point. We need to go a little bit deeper than a soundbite, in my opinion.
But okay, so how did we get here? Before we move on with how we handle this, but how did we get here? Is this a social media thing? Is it? Yes, you're nodding.
Well, social media is definitely on the tail end of it, but it's been there before. It really, in my opinion, sociologically, you can go back to when we stopped asking for the third question and teaching critical thinking to our.
Hey, welcome back. And this morning, as always, I probably never even said that this is the right side. You found the right place, the right time. We are the right side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, and we are so happy to be joined by someone we've gotten to know over the last couple of years, Terry LaPointe, and she is running for Congress District 2, right? 3. I got that wrong last time. I'm sorry.
She calls people
District
their name's
3.
Floyd. She calls them Floyd.
Look, this time I can say it's only because I've had an hour of sleep. So, anyway, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Update us since the last time we visited. How's the campaign going? What are you hearing from voters?
I am thoroughly enjoying being out there among the people and talking to people all over the state. I've covered medical kidnapping. We've talked about that before. Yes. Medical kidnapping stories from all over America. What I am seeing is people in this district that are saying the same thing that I've been saying from and reporting on from all over the country. They're saying this in my district, and they're wanting someone who cares, someone who hears their voices. And that's what I've always done, is I hear their voices, and we're working to find solutions, and I am committed to finding solutions.
It's funny because every politician, candidate, or in office, they sit down and they'll talk to us and they'll say, I love going around the state and hearing from people. And I kind of don't believe it, but when you say it, I do believe it, because your heart has always been for the people. I don't think you would put yourself in this position if it wasn't like you're not doing it for you.
No, absolutely not.
So that is refreshing. I will say, last time you were on the show, I said when y'all walked in, I was like, I missed it because I was on Epstein Island. Let me clarify. I was like driving around Epstein Island taking pictures. But you have been endorsed by an Epstein survivor. Tell us about that. How did you connect with her?
I got a phone call one day from an attorney that I'd worked with Family Forward Project. She said, you got to take this call. This baby has been medically kidnapped, and her mom was adopted as an infant by traffickers. And that mom was an Epstein Island survivor. They were trying to shut her up by sending Child Protective Services to take her baby just as an infant. And I tracked down that whole story, but all this crazy stuff she was telling me about Epstein Island and all the second Lolita or multiple Lolita Express airplanes, and way down some rabbit holes. I was like, whoa, this is insane. But I had 100% documentation of everything she said about when her child was taken. That was a story I covered, and it took 5 years, but she finally got her baby back.
Oh,
and she has endorsed me, and she said that it was my diligent digging into the documents that helped her. So she's, and I was able to introduce her to Senator Katie Britt in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah. That was an amazing moment. Yeah.
So could you, for people who may sort of think they know what medical kidnapping is, and I know we want to talk about other issues that you're working on in your campaign, Can you define the terms of what medical kidnapping means?
Yeah, it's just simply when a family member is taken from their family for medical kinds of reasons, taken by the state, either Child Protective Services, or we have Adult Protective Services, guardianship abuse, that kind of thing. But when they're taken under legal grounds from innocent families for medical kinds of reasons. And it can be from wanting a second medical opinion or a diagnosis that two different doctors disagree. It could be all kinds of things. And so that just digging into what the truth of that was took me way, way deep into a lot of other things. And there are things that I've learned from the years of digging for the truth, for investigating and looking at the federal funding and how that works, that has made me want to fight not only for that, but to fight for the people of Alabama for conservative values, constitutional values in Washington, D.C., because I don't see people really fighting for families. And that's like my top priority. I feel like we've got to have somebody who is willing to look at everything from the perspective of how does it impact our families.
So your heart kind of led you to this place, but being in Congress, you have to deal with lots of policy issues, which isn't as fun, but it's very important for District 3. What are your top priorities, if you had to list maybe your top 3 or 5 for the district?
Okay, well, my district is huge with veterans and military, and I come from a long line of veterans. Many people in my family and my husband's family have served. So I'm hearing from veterans that a lot of their concerns, especially their health related concerns, are not being addressed. And so I'm going to fight for our veterans. They've given everything. They've sacrificed for this country, and we as a country owe them. And there's not a lot that we're spending a lot of money on, a lot of stupid stuff like Leering centers and all kinds of stupid stuff that we shouldn't be funding, but taking care of our veterans, we should be funding that. We need to be taking care of our veterans.
So what else beyond veterans would you say your top issues are?
Medical freedom.
Okay.
Being able to make a medical decision for you or your children, your family, without fear of your child being taken, or without fear of losing your job because you choose not to take a certain shot or something. Then also government accountability. Making sure that we're accountable for where our money is going. I mean, people in Alabama are working way too hard for our money than to have it spent on, like we said, stupid stuff and things that are unaccountable, things that are the money's just disappearing. It could be used for feeding our families and paying for health care, paying for the things that we need in our families, instead of just going down this endless abyss into just corruption.
Nothingness. Yes.
Corruption.
Yes.
Let's get rid of that. Ending child trafficking, border security. Of course, President Trump has done amazing things, but what happens when the next person comes in that doesn't support those things? We've got to codify his executive orders into law, and we've got to have the courage to stand up and fight, even when the media comes and attacks for, we've got to have that courage. I've worked with angel families. I talk about that in my book, those who have lost a loved one to illegals. And, we've had over 13,000 American citizens last year alone killed by an illegal.
13,000
in America in 1 year, last year. I heard that.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And every single one of those deaths is preventable.
And we're subsidizing those people to live here, to have health care, to have an education. And that's what just blows my mind. I was listening to something this morning about all the fraud they're finding in all these different states, Ohio, of all of them. And you're like, hardworking Americans are paying for that.
Right. Absolutely.
We are paying to kill ourselves to the number of 13,000 deaths a year. Not to mention the people that are not receiving health care, that are not having the opportunities for a job even. And it seems like it's just bizarre to me how people can actually, and even some on the right, are either silent or actively working against Americans and wanting to put an end to that. It makes zero sense to me. I'm curious, though, where you stand on education, like the Department of Education, kind of what you are thinking about.
Well, I like the idea of abolishing the National Department of Education and putting it back into our communities, because our communities know best. They know their people best. And so I just went to the dedication of the Challenger Learning Center in my district in Rainbow City, Alabama. And my goodness, you've got to go.
Okay,
that place is
what is it?
amazing. It's it's for, what do you call that? The science and
Like a
education,
STEM,
yeah,
science,
STEAM. But
technology.
this, it's called STEAM, STEAM. But it's based on the Challenger, the Space Shuttle Challenger, and the space program. And yeah, it is amazing. You remember how in elementary school we went to the Space and Rocket Center, and that was our favorite field trip?
Right.
Okay, this is going to be the school kids' favorite field trip. This is
wow.
amazing. This is going to be such an attraction for this area, and focusing on the science and the developing our leaders in education. I'm so proud of all the people that were involved in that. It's amazing.
So we just have a few minutes left, and I see that you brought your book, which is great. Could you tell people about that and what motivated you to write it?
Okay, so this is Voices That Will Not Be Silenced, because I've been hearing the voices of people talking about what's going on. I was in Washington, D.C., and I got a phone call. Oh, you've got to meet this lady, Kathy Hall. You got to hear her story. And so we made that happen. And I talked with her, and she wanted me to write this story. And she met with us a couple more times. And the more she told about, this was such a huge story. This baby was taken by Child Protective Services, never should have been taken, was adopted out to strangers. And then the mother was killed by an illegal. Grandfather is a Purple Heart veteran. They wouldn't give the baby to the grandparents, adopted the baby out to strangers. Our veterans are being overlooked and ignored in family court. So then the grandmother became really good friends with Senator Linda Collins Smith of Arkansas, who was just about to expose, with all the receipts, the trafficking going on through the foster care system, child protective system. And she was murdered 4 days before she was supposed to go public with that. And so this goes way deep into all the facts and digging into that. And I had a gentleman tell me that had gotten my book at an event, and he came back and he said, this is one of the most important books he's ever read.
Wow.
Exposing the truth. It's all about the truth.
It's fascinating. It's troubling. Because I think it's one of those issues that people say, oh, that can't happen here.
Right.
And yet it does.
It does all the time.
Where can they we purchase the book?
It's on Amazon in place, but then realnewsspark.com. There's a link to get the book if you want to get a signed copy. You can get that there.
Voices That Will Not Be Silenced. I am curious, real quickly, any final thoughts, and where can people find out more about your campaign and where you'll be the next week? Only a week. Well, no, time out. You are special. No, you're not. You're not in the redistricting.
No, I'm not.
You're not. Never mind.
Nope.
Yes, you've got a week.
I've got a week. 6
days. So what do we need to know? How do we find you?
Okay. I'm on Facebook. My name, Terry LaPointe, Terry with an I, no E on LaPointe. Terry LaPointe for Congress on Facebook. Terry LaPointe for Congress.com is my website. I'm traveling all over the district, and it's amazing. Final thoughts. Y'all, we are winding down. We've been praying for God to raise up godly leaders for so long. And God is raising up godly leaders. We've had so much of corruption. We've had so many politicians that can be bought and paid for. My soul is not for sale. I'm going to represent the people and to be a voice for our people and for what is right. And so I'm asking the voters of District 3 to vote for me and let me represent you. And my door is always open to my constituents. Always.
Terry LaPointe, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad I was here this time.
Yes.
Yay.
Of course, I was on a boat, and that was kind of nice. But we will be back with more news.
I can completely disagree with someone and respect their opinion, hold space for them to share it,
Right.
because I could learn from the other side. There are things I could learn. I mean, I was brought up in a very small bubble. I was born on a military base, lived overseas during Vietnam in a military base in Germany, and watched the way they did it. Troops would come back from Vietnam and they would come to Germany and get safe and healed a little bit more before they'd transport them back to Walter Reed in Maryland. And so that's what my first 6 years of life was seeing what that looked like. It's a very narrow point of view. I thought military, it was like God, country, family is the way I was raised. And that's just not it. So when I came back, it was a very different world. And so that's what we've got to recognize is people only know how to live from their experience. If they are not taught to think critically and they're not taught to respect everyone's opinions, and not just that the opinion is valid, their opinion can be valid and wrong.
That's good.
Truth does not bend. Truth is a fact. Truth is from God. And if that's not your starting point, you've got to come up with what your true north is, your compass. But if truth doesn't align with my personal opinion, I've got to do business with the Lord to figure out why it doesn't. And what have I set up that I think this is more important? The kindness. Like if kindness is your idol, it has to be done in a certain way. Like my 15-year-old will tell me, well, if you would have said it nicely. I'm like, child, nice was the first 62,000 times I've said it to you. You are no longer getting nice. And she's like, but you lose the argument, Mom, when you raise your voice. And I'm like, oh, well, that's going to be horrible for me. I'm Italian. I'm like, But that's what we've got to do is we've got to learn how to hold our space without getting angry, without elevating. Because for me, volume doesn't mean I'm angry. Volume just means I'm passionate. But this generation doesn't understand anger and passion. That's why we've got a lot of discord around people getting involved in things they should not be involved in, getting in the way of ICE. And like I have that conversation almost on a daily basis with my 26 to 15-year-old children, how important it is for them to understand they're not protecting these people. They're getting in the way of law and order. And it's a hard concept for them because the social-minded, emotional generation that they're in thinks we have to protect these people. And I'm like, who are you protecting? And we have to have those conversations. Yeah.
So do you think then on and still staying with the how and the why, do you think that we're here because of all the concentration of social emotional learning in school without those concrete logical things that we learned? We learned how to think logically. We learned how to think critically, and then it just kind of evaporated. Because it seems to me that from all of the emphasis on social emotional learning, we also have then that spike in 20%? I had the 20-ish% of 18 to or Gen Zs have increased and think they're identifying as LGBTQ. I mean, like these things that they're agreeing to or saying they believe in don't make any sense unless they were schooled and trained in all of the SEL techniques. Is that part of it?
It is definitely part of it. I think there's, it's not a silo. Nothing is happening, independent of the other. So you take that, you take this push towards tolerance, acceptance, and I don't mean that either one of those are wrong in theory, because they're not wrong in theory. But what it introduced, it's kind of like the law of unintended consequences. I wanted to do this, but it also did this. And so that unintended consequence was we muddied a lot of waters. And as we started teaching it younger and younger and younger, these children don't have the structure and the framework in their brain yet to feel safe when we discuss these topics. So that's why we've got so much anxiety in these kids, is because they're handling topics that we as adults struggle to deal with, but we're giving it to them younger and younger and younger. And like my 15-year-old said the other day, well, is he heterosexual because that's all he's ever tried, or did he try the other and decide he's heterosexual? And I was like, why would you have to try something to decide that is not who you are? And she was like, well, it's an option now. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
It's always been an option. You know, my response to her, it's always been an option. Going outside of what God has made has always been an option. But it's, where do you draw your line of, I don't need to try that to know this isn't right. And she was like, well, I just think that's important that people try things. And I was like, oh, okay. Yes, Christian home.
Yep.
And she's still being influenced at 15 by this culture that she's in, because she's soaked in it. And she's got a phone in her pocket that lets her Google anything she wants, TikTok anything she wants.
But that's a good point about the schools. I wrote down schools, parents, politicians, social media. I remember we did a talk about SEL and things going on in schools probably 3 or 4 years ago. And there was an example of, you know, like you said, tolerance and acceptance on face value is not bad. But this.
Hi, welcome back. How are you? Don't you love it? This is the way it goes. At the end of every interview,
Oh, I have no idea.
and I forget this, the really good stuff comes out at the end. And as they're walking out the door, they just dish out some bombs of information.
Oh, my gosh.
And you know what we're going to do with that? Eventually, we will get to it and we will share it with you. And it's important. So we're looking out for you guys. We got to look out for each other.
Are you vague posting?
But no, I'm not, because this is going to be super specific. You've heard me mention, for example, Terry Sewell's district, and looking at the district and what's actually going on there, because it's not a skin color issue. It's are you working for your constituents issue? And so we will, in the coming days and weeks, talk more and more about that, because you deserve to know, because it's not out there and it should be known. Because if you do a good job, you should be proud of what you've done.
Yep.
And if you don't, then maybe it's time to find a new job. That's all. It's that simple. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
And to your point, it's not it, and this was just discussed. It's not even really a Republican Democrat issue.
No,
Like,
not at all.
There's some basic, like, we live in America, not a third world country. And it's funny to hear the stories coming out of Terry Sewell's district of what kind of conditions people live in, but they still will champion her as like their hero. She has done absolutely zero besides line the pockets of her buddies.
Yeah.
And you can appreciate that somebody is the first person to do this or to do that. That's great. But when are we going to go, however, we have sewage problems. However, we're still dealing with a 20-year-old problem of whatever it is. That should be considered. And I don't know why more people aren't, but we will.
Well, I'll say this too. If I'm just throwing like random names of like Mike Rogers or Robert Adderholt or Dale Strong, if they were the congressman in that district and the Black communities were suffering, and not just the Black communities, but especially the Black communities, because that's a racially gerrymandered district. Do you think if a white representative like Dale Strong or the others represented them, they'd get a pass like Terry Sewell does?
Ignoring it.
Now you're meddling.
They'd be walking to the state house wanting him gone, and rightfully so. But because of her skin color, they deem that she's properly representing them, and then she gets Terry Sewell could be the worst congressman or congresswoman, in the nation, but she's safe because of her. And that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, imagine if the tables were reversed.
Great. Great thought.
We said that Terry Sewell got marshaled after Steve Marshall, his rebuttal to her last week. Is that what we're going to do? Like, should we just keep with that word? Like, Terry Sewell, we are going to continue to marshal.
You've just been marshaled.
And you're going to get marshaled again. Or do we need to change it?
No, I like marshaled.
You've just been Allisoned.
Yeah.
You've just been Amy Beth.
I think
You've
marshaled.
just been ass packed.
Oh,
wait.
wait. No. That's not what it means.
That was going to be the name of our pack. And then it was decided.
Let me take that back.
By God that we should do this instead. And so
Allison Sinclair, Amy Beth
Beth, it was
Shaver.
same
So it
name,
was like, yeah.
you know, and
And
then
the
a PAC,
PAC.
Political Action Committee, you know,
Yeah,
just to
okay.
get, defining
Thank you.
terms. But we're going to marshal the rest of the receipts that we have, because how about we just respect or disrespect the work that's been done? Not Republican, Democrat, it's right or wrong. And you guys can decide, because you just can. You're smart. And then you can go turn and get this information out. So it's coming. It's coming. Stay tuned.
This is so good because, and I don't know, I know we have so much to do in so little time, but we need to get to what the court order last night.
I think that's worth a couple minutes talking about.
Okay, so can we talk about it? What are they trying to do now that the injunction was lifted, Sinclair?
Well, so the Supreme Court basically threw the case back to the 3-panel judge of the 11th Circuit Court. Okay. And the 3-panel judge said, and we're still kind of interpreting, but there's a chance that they aren't even going to accept the 6-1 map that we just spent thousands of dollars to go into a special session for, because they didn't want to draw a new one, even though we kept saying this map was drawn under now unconstitutional terms. But you're going to submit an unconstitutional map and think they're going to approve it. So there's a chance that, and this would be so funny, they could go back and have to draw another map, which would make it a 7-0 map in theory.
In theory, allegedly.
But it's going to be really interesting to watch Montgomery, because if they don't draw another map, I don't even know what we do. Do we stick with 5-2? But then do they have the kahunas to go in and draw a 7-0 map? Or are they still going to draw a 6-1? But here's what's interesting, and this is what I'm so flabbergasted about. Our margins in the House, the federal House, so small right now. And every seat, every district matters. Every R district matters. And there are several states that are not wanting to give those extra. I think it would be 4 states. If Alabama did it, it would be 4 states and 4 seats, 1 extra seat. Why is Donald Trump not coming out and hammering Alabama? Because if we lose the House, he is going to be impeached. And this one might actually go through, because the Senate, we have some biscuits that will vote to actually convict, not just impeach. So why is he not going after Alabama? Because that seat matters.
I think that's coming.
So I can't believe you said that. We are a Republican state, and we expect Republican districts. We expect Republicans to Republican, and they're not. And so you're exactly right. Do you guys actually think that Democrats will allow any quarter for us when they are back in office? They are already telling us what they're going to do. James Carville started the conversation weeks and weeks ago. Other Democrats from across the country have then begun to say what they're going to do when they're back in power. Never mind that when they're in power, the country falls apart. Do you guys think that when they get back in power in Alabama, they're going to just go, oh, it's okay? Do you really think that's what they're going to do when they're telling us they will have no quarter? They will show no mercy. And here we're over here, feckless in the corner. We don't know what to do. Of course you know what to do. It's back to the initial quote from Patrick Henry. Are you just going to lie on your back, holding out for this delusion of hope? When is that one day going to be this day that you choose to do what's right? But they will have no quarter for us when it's their turn.
No.
Neither should we have a quarter for them.
And Allison, I think the Trump involvement may be coming soon, because I can't remember where I saw it. It may have been actually yesterday during the mother's, thing they had in the Oval Office, or maybe the day before, but whenever the Supreme Court removed the injunction and brought it back to the courts, a reporter in their Oval Office asked Trump about specifically, like, hey, the Supreme Court just ruled this in Alabama, and Trump literally says, oh, I didn't know. Just tell me, is it a win for Republicans or not? So I think he is kind of on a need to know. Well, not need to know, but I mean, he's trying to end a war in Iran. He's in China right now. Like, I think he's delegating his people. Hey, Alabama will do the right thing, right? Yeah. And I think if it really, the rubber hits the road and we got to go to break glass if needed, get Trump involved when they're not doing their job. Because I think right now Trump is, even in just a statement of, oh, tell me, is it good for Republicans or not? Like, I think that he's kind of trusting Alabama. Yeah, obviously Alabama won that state by how much? They're going to do what they, need to do. But I think if they don't, and Trump, needs to be involved, I think Trump will 100% get involved. And then Daddy Trump will have to come down, and then everybody will say, oh, sorry.
But maybe. If what I'm hearing out of Montgomery is true, Montgomery is going to be in a real pickle if pressure starts coming from the president. And I'm going to be really interested to see how this all shakes out. I just don't understand. And I'm like, okay, Trump is not as savvy then as I think he is, because we're watching all these other states, South Carolina, all these places. Why would we assume Republicans are going to behave in any way? And he's up against what's happening in the Senate with John Thune and Republicans. Like, that is a real misstep on his behalf if he thinks and is just making assumptions because we're Alabama or because we're a red state. And it really could be the difference in, and I'm not even being dramatic, in his impeachment and conviction, and the difference in saving the republic. And we're acting like we've done this great thing.
And you know what's worse is that the politicos get protected. The districts will perhaps stay 6-1 because they're protecting their friend. Meanwhile, the people in those districts never mind what's coming next for Republicans. And it is a very real situation that we have to consider with Trump getting voted to be impeached and then impeached. Like, that's going to happen. Is that the people of the districts that we're talking about are the ones we should ask, how do they feel about their leadership? How do they feel about Terry Sewell's pockets allegedly getting lined? How do they feel about a crummy Marengo County? How do they feel about Marion and not having water for periods of time? How do they feel about Uniontown? How do they feel about that? Because they're the ones that are getting screwed while you guys are protecting your friend. She can be your friend, and you can say it is not personal. We're looking at the district and we're saying we can do better for the people of Alabama. When are the people of Alabama going to matter to y'all? And then when is the state of the republic going to matter to you as well? When? When is that day?
You want an answer?
Yep.
When the advantages of being on that side outweigh the advantages of not. Right now, there's not enough reward for them to be on that side. It apparently is a loss of power or a loss of something. I don't know what it is. I really don't understand it, but it's not enough for them yet. Then you look at states like Tennessee, go Vols, who, like, the speaker just removed all committee, like people that were involved in the riots, I don't know, the insurrection in the Tennessee House chambers, like Justin Pearson and all them, removed them from all their committee assignments. And now, of course, they're calling, and this is what it seems like Alabama doesn't want to deal with, but they're already doing it. But, they're like, oh, the speaker just removed all representation of Black people for the state of Tennessee. Well, don't go. There are consequences whether you're white or Black. I don't care what color you are. You can't act a fool and then just think you're going to keep your committee assignments. No, like, there are consequences. And so this isn't a Black or white thing, but has there been any talk of that out of Alabama?
No, absolutely not.
Now, maybe I heard rumors of that, but so far we haven't heard anything. Then that's kind of the problem. We haven't heard anything out of Montgomery.
Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of intentions, but no action. We're just looking for action. But you do look around at places like Tennessee and you go Vols. And that's how it's done. That's what you do. Am I
I won't say
wrong?
that one.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I know. I'm going to say go Vols, Big Orange. Just for a moment, just for a second, because they're doing what's right. Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, I think Missouri. Like, what is so hard? People are people, and they should be cared for. We can look district by district and see what's been going on there and let those results speak for themselves. Should that representation continue or not? Not based on race, based on reality.
We got about 15 minutes when we get hot flash news.
Yeah, but I have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
So if we, let's say, I don't know what's going to happen with this 3-judge panel, blah, 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 blah. Say we get stuck with the 6-1 map, which I still think is unconstitutional, but I don't even know how it gets through. But say we do. That 7th congressional district of Terry Sewell, I don't know if the chairman is listening. I don't know if Montgomery is listening. We have to find a candidate that can run against Terry Sewell and the Republican Party, because it is actually winnable. But historically, the Republican Party does not put much money. I think that's part of the problem. They kind of just give Terry in Alabama their one black Democrat, But the Republican Party has to go hard, and we'll do our part. We'll bring the receipts. Look at the smile on Ab's face. She's ready. But we have to win that district.
You could have a black female Republican.
Do you have one in mind?
Wait.
Oh,
half of that.
Stop. Stop.
I'd do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, and they couldn't play the race card. I mean, they couldn't. What would they say?
You know what? Half of Abs can run, and then the other half can keep doing the show. And
that's exactly right. And I can
Perfect.
criticize the other. Like, it's
Both
just an
sides win.
ideal. No, but I think there are plenty of people, seriously, who could run, and it would be fine.
Because you don't have to live in that district.
No, you don't.
Abs, why are you just now telling me and the world this at the same time?
Because it just hit me at the same time as it hit you. Like, when it came out of my mouth, that's when the thought formed, and it went, it's the venti Starbucks.
I'm about to say, Abs is going to get a good night's sleep and come back tomorrow and be like,
what did I do?
What did I say?
What I'm saying is there are plenty of people I'm thinking of in the Republican Party who could run, who are positioned right now to do so. And if you want a black Republican, great. If you want a conservative Democrat, fine. As long as you don't agree with cutting off genitalia and abortion up until the day of birth and LGBTQ. I mean, like, be okay with that. That's fine.
Can I be your party planner?
Yeah.
Be the most fun campaign ever.
We would have a blast. Like, look, all I want is, after our last guests and the person that we saw off camera, I'm genuinely outraged that district is a dump in parts, and it doesn't get much attention, and it's not right. And it's a district of Booker T. Washington, and that's not okay. It's really not okay that we're in this day and age and it's getting overlooked because you're looking at the person who's leading it and not at the people. And the people need a good hard look. And so whoever can do that, go do it. But there are plenty of people. That was the venti Starbucks that just out of my mouth.
With half of you. Oh my God. That'd be so fun to watch the meltdown. I ship it. I think that's a Gen Z word.
It is.
I love that word. Anyway, just
okay. My wheels are turning. I can't believe you did this to me on air.
It's because I only had an hour.
I'll be typing cat after. Okay, I say we ditch hot flash news and do it tomorrow because Princess will be gone. I don't know why that made me want to rub it on. It's so smooth. Okay, anyway, so we can flash hot news tomorrow. But we got to get through the montage because there were actually, is Kash Patel an alcoholic?
That was a phenomenal clip. Did you have the whole clip? Because he is slinging it back at Chris Van Hollen. And then after that, he goes and he posts the receipts from Chris Van Hollen, who clearly parties on the taxpayer dime. Did you see those receipts?
No.
Oh, they were awesome.
What do you mean he parties on the taxpayer dime?
Do you have any of those, or do I need to find them on my
Is it
Twitters?
like
I don't.
Okay.
Let me
I
try and
saved
find
them.
the
like
full
they're
video.
paying for his Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Y'all
here,
chat, girl.
here's
boy.
here's the
Girls, you keep chatting.
Girls, y'all talk.
here's the full interaction.
When your security detail had difficulty waking or locating you, is that right?
Nope, it's a total farce. I don't even know where you get this stuff, but it doesn't make it credible because you say so.
I'm not saying it, Director Patel. It's been written and documented.
You are literally saying it.
No, I'm saying that these are reports, Director Patel.
No,
and
unlike
I
your
will
baseless
say,
reports,
Director
the only person
Patel-
that was slinging margaritas in El Salvador on the taxpayer dollar with a convicted gangbanging rapist was you.
You know, the
only person that ran up a
Director
$1,000 bar tab in Washington, D.C. at
This
the lobby
suggests
bar
to me-
was you.
this
so the only individual
suggests
in
to
this
me that the
room that has
allegations
been
are
drinking on
true.
taxpayer dime during
Are
the
you
day
polygraphing?
is you.
Director Patel, come on. These are serious allegations that were made against you. They're
The
in a
allegations
lawsuit
are
that
false.
you filed.
You drinking margaritas with a gangbanger
actually,
is true and on
it just
video.
goes to show you
running a
don't-
$7,000
this
bar tab at the lobby bar
Director Patel,
has been filed by your own
this
office.
goes to show-
drink during
Whoa.
the day. That's
Chairman,
you.
Mr.
This is
Chairman,
the ultimate example of hypocrisy.
Chairman,
I will not be tarnished by baseless allegations
let me
and
ask the
fraudulent statements
questions.
from the media.
The fact that you mentioned that indicates you don't know what you are talking about. Now, here,
The
Director
only thing I
Patel,
know is you're the one drinking margaritas with felons.
actually,
So later that day,
That was awesome.
and I'm looking for it, but here we go. Fact check. So Chris Van Hollen, itemized reimbursements, Cash posted this, LexisNexis, primary, and then it shows what he's using it for. And
Does it say margaritas with gangbangers?
so this is what he did. Fact check. This is 20 hours ago. And then he had others that he posted. It takes a minute to go find it, but Cash was putting up the receipts yesterday, and it was a layered receipt.
$7,000.
So check it out.
French 75.
See?
He found it.
Thank you.
Here, let me zoom in.
I can't see it. I need my
wait.
glasses.
I can't see it.
Wait, this
Okay.
Twitter has it to where you can't, like, the photo itself doesn't zoom in. So I'll just tell you what I'm looking at here.
Okay. Oh, lobby bar. Where's the lobby bar? A catering for event.
Oh Lord, it's $7,128.
Lobby bar, yeah, $7,128 for that. LexisNexis, whatever that is, $408.
That sounds like who was the porn star?
Oh, that LexisNexis is what lawyers use to look up
Texas?
stuff. That's what that is.
And then Microsoft, there's 137 of them. But yeah, $7,000 of a reimbursement on December 12th, 2025. For
Now this was a campaign. So
yes, he was turning it in for a campaign. However, as he accused Cash, it turns out he was the one.
if that's for like several people,
Yeah. I mean, whatever it's for. Probably Chris Van Hollen should have been a little more careful. Because one thing Cash does is maybe he doesn't do a whole lot of anything else. I'm not sure yet about him. But he did bring those receipts and just say, you're the one paying for a lot of drinks. It could have been for your whole campaign.
he could have stopped it drinking margaritas with a gangbanger.
I was about to say,
Which was awesome.
you know what is not alleged though is hold on, let me reshare.
You have a picture? I forgot that was him. Gonna go save the
Yeah, this is not alleged.
Oh, yes.
You remember that?
Him looking dreamy-eyed, like he's on a date
Because
with Kilmar Brego
Rita
Garcia.
Gate.
yeah, man, he's the new
Wow.
Rosa Parks.
Then it wasn't water. Oh, that's deep.
Oh wait, here's the one of him.
That was good.
Here, I'm gonna save it so I can enlarge it. But the one of him like touching his arm.
I understand you.
I forgot. Yeah, Chris Van Hollen, not only are things recorded, but like we have pictures, which are also recorded. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
How cute.
I get you.
Darling. Having breakfast.
Well,
at
where are the
Holiday
margaritas?
Express.
The margarita wasn't in that one,
Okay,
but that's him.
they were delivered
So
later.
they-
looking
yeah.
looking lovingly into his eyes.
I've got you. That's what he said.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. All right. So, guys,
girls,
may I please ask a question about Marty McCary? Is it Marty McCary or Macquarie?
McCary.
Okay, thank you.
Whatever we want it to be.
Okay, thank you.
He ain't in his
McFly.
job. He's not in his
Marty
job.
He's not
McFly.
in his job. So, do we know what the issues were with Marty? Because at first I thought people were jazzed, and then it looks like they weren't jazzed. I know that he didn't align with Trump. I know that they still wanted the mRNA vaccines pulled. And I know that the abortion pills were still shipped, a different ship. But what else? Because it seemed like the last couple of months had been a little spicy for McCary.
This is New York Times. It says, here, let me pull it up. Marty McCary resigned. It says, ultimately, he left over concerns about the administration's decision to authorize fruit-flavored e-cigarettes.
I put my foot down.
Yeah. An action
on the fruit.
An action he opposed, according to 4 people familiar with the matter. Dr. McCary told those close to him they cannot in good conscience approve flavored vapes given their appeal to young people and will not do something he did not believe in. This is New York Times saying this. It says his efforts at times put him at odds with powerful food, tobacco, and pharmaceutical industries. In the process, he made a number of enemies in Washington and on Wall Street, including some biotech leaders, abortion foes, tobacco executives, and eventually some members of the administration.
Well, okay, so it sounds like he was doing a good job. Oh, what side is he on?
I can't tell.
It's
vague.
Marty McFly or against him?
I
To
don't
the
know.
time machine. What was it called?
Oh, what was that called? Was it the time machine? Does he know what
the
we're talking
DeLorean?
about?
No, Back to the Future.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? A time
Yeah,
machine?
what was it
it
called?
called?
I can't
The
remember.
flux capacitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. That was good,
I,
Allison.
I watched the first 2, but I was told not to watch the third one because it was bad.
Didn't even know there was a third one.
What? Was he even in it? Was Michael J. Fox in the third one?
I think so. But that was the one where they went out west.
Oh, yeah, that was stupid.
But the first
I
2
did see it.
were bangers. But I was told
See,
not to watch
the way
the
that
third.
we saw lots of our movies was late at night, like feeding our babies and taking care of them. That's
Yeah.
the only time
1
I
in
caught
the
up on
morning.
all the lore from high school. You know,
Y'all are
did you-
catching up.
trying.
Y'all catching up on the Gen Z slang. It's
We're
good.
look, you're
Is
educating
lore
us.
a thing?
I mean, lore is not a Gen Z specific word, but Gen Z uses it a lot.
Molly uses the word lore.
Yeah.
I'm trying hard.
Does it still mean what we think it means?
Yeah, if they just use it like oh, you don't know the lore, or that it means the same thing, but Gen Z just uses it a lot.
Okay. It's not a lure.
No.
No, that's completely different.
I mean, they sound the same. It's like oil, light.
I say "oh" really bad.
Oil.
You do say old.
Even when I noticed when we put up the clip of our tinfoil hat segments, and I was like, Allison, can you grab the tinfoil hat behind you? I
Fold.
sounded so.
Well, you know what I've noticed lately that I say instead of rural, I say rural.
Oh, it means.
Wait, is that not
Well, it's rural. I don't know.
rural?
But from
That's a hard one.
what is it? 30 Rock, 50 Rock,
Yeah,
30,
30
Rock.
Rock.
One of the girls, that funny girl, said
Tina
rural
Fey?
juror. She was doing some commercial for rural juror. So there's a Rural King in Florence or in Muscle Shoals. So Chris and I usually say rural juror for everything. But then today when I said rural, I said rural. Like I don't even know how to say R.
Yeah. Whenever we are with our Pennsylvania cousins, there's so much we say that they're like, what?
Like they don't understand you?
Yeah. And I remember there was one, I can't remember what we were talking about, but I said the word brewer and not brewer. And they literally were like, what'd you say? Brewer. We're like, oh,
Are you talking about like a brewer?
Yeah. But I think I may have said like the Brewers, like the baseball team.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were like, what? But yeah, that's one bad for me, brewer.
What you know what else is bad? And it's in the news a lot. Redistricting. There's no K in there. Redistricting. Redistricting. Get that T out. Or just go with reapportionment.
Sounds more elegant.
Redistricting.
Would you rather sweat melted cheese or always smell like skunk?
Sweat melted cheese, but both are bad.
Yeah, sweat melted cheese because you can control your sweating a little bit.
Would you rather eat a bowl of spaghetti with syrup on top or a bowl of cereal with ketchup on top?
Ew, spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I love ketchup.
You'd go ketchup?
Maybe.
Cereal with ketchup? Then your milk would be all bloody red
Well, you only need
and
milk.
chunky.
Ketchup is the milk.
Gross.
Ugh. All right, y'all, we'll be back tomorrow, but she won't be here.
I won't.
I don't know what's going to happen. Do we have guests tomorrow?
Yes.
We got John Wall tomorrow.
Oh, shoot. John Wall. Oh, God, I got to pull it together. Y'all make good choices tonight, not like I did last night, and stay on the right side. We'll see you tomorrow.